we want to look at what to do before you land your first job, and then we'll look at LinkedIn, LinkedIn as well. I hope wherever you are, you have your either computer or mobile phones that you can do some practical work, especially with your LinkedIn. It's very, very important that you are able to set up your LinkedIn. Okay. So in Proverbs 15:22, the Bible says that without counsel, plans fail, but with many advices, they succeed. Is that what you are seeing right now?
No.
Okay, I want to be sure you are following. So is that what you are seeing right now?
No, please.
No.
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 Hold on. Why is this? Okay, let me see. Is that what you are seeing right now?
No.
Hey,
Maybe you should stop sharing and then reshare. I think that'll work. Yeah.
let me reset. Okay. Are we good now? Are we good now?
Yes.
Still, we can't.
Yes.
I can't
Yeah.
see anything.
Seeing now.
It's
You
here
can
now.
see
We've
my
seen it now.
yes. Yes. So Proverbs 15:22, it says that without counsel, plans fail, but with many advices, they succeed. That's why
I'm
we are
sorry.
here.
I can't see. I can't see anything yet. What's happening?
Are you sure you cannot see?
I
Yeah,
think
sure.
The text,
it might
the
be.
text will be down there because of your screen. So check
Yeah.
your screen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so about me. So my name is Meshack. Many of you know me, many of you do not. So I work as a digital marketing strategist. I also do product design, which is UI UX, and I'm a web developer as well. So basically, that is about me. I love mentoring and coaching. And fun fact about me is I'm a twin and I like acting a lot. And we are very, very, very identical. So today we are going to look at, first of all, introduction, which I'll let some of you introduce yourselves so that the conversation will be very interactive. And then we'll look at transitioning from university. And many of you are through with your national service. Some of you are yet to do your national service. And then we'll look at personal branding. Then we'll look at LinkedIn, your gateway to professional networking. And then we'll look at how to develop a growth mindset. We'll do a few job interviews and follow-ups, and then that will be the end of my presentation. It's going to be a very quick one and very interactive. So I want 5 people, before we start, 5 people to tell us your name, what you do, and a fun fact about you. So just 5 people randomly. So you show your hand, and then the coordinators give you the chance to do that. So like I said, my name is Meshack. Currently, I work at Eurotor as their digital marketing executive and an IT support analyst, as well as some freelancing gigs that I do. And a fun fact, I'm a twin, very identical, and I act a lot. Yeah, so coordinators, please allow those that have raised their hands so that we can know them.
Yeah. So that's fine. John, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Nati John Tete. I'm a service personnel. I serve at the Confucius Institute, University of Cape Coast. And a fun fact about me is I love making village videos for YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. What kind of village videos?
That is, I advocate for villages. I started with my community, Akman Sweetie, so I make videos about villages. Like, I love village style.
Keep it up, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's an interesting fun fact. So, anyone else? Me, I'll call names though. But okay. So, Christiana. Christiana was saying. Or anyone who wants to introduce himself or herself.
Anyone else, you can't let Zoom meeting be boring, right? So, in as much as it is not in person, we have to keep it very interactive. We know ourselves. Normally, what we do is that when we go for Zoom meetings, we just keep quiet. The instructors or the coordinator and then the resource persons, they talk and talk and talk. And then the meeting ends and everybody leaves. And we are talking about networking or maybe interacting with people, knowing people. There are a lot of resource people in this Zoom meeting that you do not know them. So you introduce yourself, you say something about yourself, they find it interesting, and then maybe they can support. Maybe there is someone who has gadgets who can help John. Because John spoke, now we can now look for John, know what he does, and we can help him.
Yes.
Kel,
Go ahead. Kel, please go ahead. Okay. Shadrach, please go ahead.
My name is Sandra.
Okay, go ahead.
I've done my first degree in basic education, and I'm doing another degree in Bachelor of Commerce Management. I like singing.
you like singing?
Yes, I sing a lot.
So you give us a solo at the end of the session.
Okay, I will. Is it my own song or something?
Any of your choice.
I have my written song, so I'll sing one for you.
Interesting. Wow. That'll be nice.
Okay. I think Shadrach, you can go ahead now.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. You just mentioned my name. That's my name. I'm Shadrach Sowah. Okay, what I do, I'm a medical laboratory scientist. Fun fact about me. Unless you see me in person, when you see me in my picture, I know not say this boy be fanboy. The most interesting thing about me is that when you give me an assignment, I choose to produce over your assignment. That's very fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shadrach. So you heard Meshack mention that he's a twin, right? So you can guess from the very person that just spoke. All right. So Judith, please go ahead.
Okay. Please, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Please, I'm Judith Kukwa Ejiba at Adenis. I'm a dietitian. I'm about to start my national service, and I love researching.
Thank you. Yes, who else?
So at the end
I
of
think
the
you've
session,
gotten a number, right?
Yes. At the end of the session, you pick 5 people and then you give them a diet they can follow to gain weight or lose weight. Is that okay? Okay, that is great. Thank you so much. That was very interactive. Let's get started with the session. So we need to understand the transition from university to the job market. First of all, the moment you complete school, one of the things that you need to do is what I call the reality check. Now, the reality check, in a sense, is that you look at the number of years you've spent acquiring knowledge and the skill in the university that you went. And then you put it in perspective that where you are entering is a different education. Now, the world is an education. You are entering into a world of a different education. So if you don't check to know that my degree may or may not secure me a job, therefore, I have to know how I move, even right from my national service through my national service and after my national service to be very, very difficult for you. So when you know that reality that, okay, it may be that my degree may get me a job or not, then you start preparing. Now, how do we prepare? Every one of us has to prepare. But then how do we prepare? Number one, you have to do what I call self-discovery. Now, in doing your self-discovery, you have to understand yourself. So basically, you see the SWOT analysis that we do for businesses. You have to do it for yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What opportunities are available for you? What are the threats? There are a lot of people that even before national service, they would want to do national service at Nogopo because maybe a friend is saying that as for that place there is no a lot of work. Oh. When you go, you just do some small job and then the lawa will be coming. You're doing your national service to the end of your national service should be a decision that you have really thought about based on your SWOT analysis of your own self. Why do you want to become a teaching assistant? Or why did you become a teaching assistant? Your end goal should be what will guide you to decide on what you do now. So, for instance, you want to work in an office, a 9 to 5 job. Now, that 9 to 5 job, you as a person, you know your weaknesses that you are an introvert, you don't like crowded places, you are not able to talk to a lot of people, you are not able to report to anyone. Nevertheless, you still want to do a 9 to 5 job. You understand that the job may be available, but you'll not be able to succeed or thrive in that job. So right after national service, before you start to say that, okay, I want to apply for a job, find out who you are, understand yourself, know your strengths. What am I good at? What are my weaknesses? What opportunities are available for me? What are the potential threats that can harm me when I decide to move a step further in my life? And one of the ways to know your strengths and weaknesses is by asking. So on your normal days, you just maybe take a pen and a paper, write about yourself. Okay, this is me, 1, 2, 3. I think I'm good at A, B, C. I'm not good at 1, 2, 3. Now, when you gather all these things, now you start asking people in your circle questions. Who do you think I am? What do you think are some of my weaknesses? What do you think is my strength? If you are able to gather about 5 people, or maybe you sample 10 people, and then out of the 10, 5 people respond to you, based on the 5 answers, you now list all the answers that relate to each other. And then you know that, okay, these are some of my weaknesses, these are some of my strengths, these are opportunities available for me. Now you work towards that. Because you want to get a job, you are done with service, you need a job. These are some of the reasons a lot of people do not get employment, because we tend to say that in Ghana, getting job is very difficult. I know it is difficult, but the truth is, you don't understand yourself. That is why you go anywhere for job. You understand? So you first of all have to make sure you understand yourself. It is very, very important to conduct a SWOT on yourself. I have been doing SWOT almost from the time I started. I didn't start it when I was in school, but the moment I started national service, that was when I realized that I need to do SWOT analysis for my life. So my decision to become a teaching assistant was as a result of my SWOT analysis. And it has helped me progress in my career up to this point. Now, the next thing you do is know your values and passion. So identify what you care most about and what drives you. Now, this may not give you joy because you don't chop passion. Nobody eats passion. You can't eat passion. But it is important that the moment you leave school, you now start to circle most of the things that are your values and most of the things that you are passionate about. Because they are those that drives you. They help you in your next stage of your life. Okay, so if you do not know, okay, Meshack, what are my values? What are my passion? What drives me? What motivates me? What pushes me to do the things that I am doing? If you do not know, it will be very difficult for you. Now, if we ask John right now why he's doing the village videos that he's doing, maybe because of a certain value that he beholds, maybe because of a passion that he has. Something drove him, something inspired him to do what he's doing. So, in progressing in life and in career, you always have to know your values and your passion. The next thing you have to look at is your personality and skill. And when it comes to personality, apart from being introvert, extrovert, and all the things that there is, there are actual softwares, okay, that you take a test and it will show you. Some will give you 5 core personality traits which will help you in your career. And we'll have to give you a link, and then every one of you, you take the time to do that. Trust me, when I did that test, it helped me so much in my career. Wherever you find yourself, you know that, okay, these are my 5 core traits. At this point in my life, I'm exhibiting these traits. At this point in my life, I'm showing this character or this and that. It's very, very important. After knowing your personality, now you have to know what kind of skill do you have? What are the skills available? If you're a dietitian, what other skill do you have apart from dietitian? Or what skill do you have that you buttress with you being a dietitian? You understand? Now, these are some of the things that we don't really hear them anywhere because nobody talks about them. But they are the core things that helps us in finding a good job and even securing a job, knowing ourselves. It is very, very important that every one of us we get to know ourselves. I personally, I know that I cannot work in an office. Whenever I go to the office, I feel sick. Honestly, anytime I enter the office, I will feel sick. I feel like this is not my place. That's why I always prefer remote job. So I don't do office work. Not because there are no office work, but because I know myself, I cannot do office work. When I get an office work opportunity, I turn it down because I know I cannot. I wake up late, I go to work late. They'll complain. So it's important in your self-discovery, number one, understand yourself, know your values and passions, know your personality, and then your skills. Okay, so there are a lot of tools that will help you to know your personality. We have the My Breaks, which is very good, and then Strength Finder, and then there is High Five. I use High Five a lot. I'll send you the link after the section. Now, after knowing yourself, now you have to set a goal. And in setting your career goal, your goal has to be SMART. When we say SMART, your goal has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Before I entered into the university, I had a conversation with one man that I deemed him as my mentor. And I told him that I have gotten admission at University of Cape Coast. I'm going to study IT. So what are the things that I should focus on? And then he sent me a list of skills on Facebook. I tested him on Facebook. He sent me a list of skills. Now, what I did with those skills was that every semester, I try as much as possible to learn one skill. So me right now, as a digital marketing strategist, I did not start by saying that I am a digital marketing strategist. I learned social media. I learned email marketing. I learned website development. I learned content creation. I learned SEO optimization. I learned pay-per-click. I learned CTOs. And I did this per semester. So I had a goal. Okay. I had a career goal. This is where I want to go. So these are the things I would learn to get where I want to go. Now you are out of service, or you are now about to start your service. What goals do you have written down? Because that goals will be transferred to your vision board. Okay. So your goal, like I said, has to be specific. I want to be this. I want to get here. I want to do this. After being specific, you have to measure it. What time will it take you? Is it achievable? Is that goal relevant to your career? Okay. So we have to look at these things. And then once we have these goals, we put them on a vision board. You create a visual representation of the goals and what you aspire to be. And in Ghana, that is one of the things that we find very difficult. I have a student. Her name is Sowah. She was supposed to be part of this meeting, but she's in a workshop right now. When we talk about vision board, she does so well. And honestly, I learned a lot from her in terms of drawing your vision on boards. It not literally board, but like having a documented way of, okay, this is where I want to go. These are the things I want to do. She does so well. And that is one of the things that many of us, we are not good at doing. We just live the life. What can come, can come. But as a person or an individual or someone who is aspiring to be anything, you have to get a representation of where you are going. Now, when you get that representation, then you attach what I call action plans to that representation. So if you want to get 10,000 Ghana cedis by the end of December, that is a specific goal. It is measurable, it is achievable, it is relevant, and it is time bound because you want to get it by the end of December. Now you write it down. Okay, I want to get 10,000 Ghana cedis by the end of December. Now, what are the action plans to get that 10,000 Ghana cedis? First of all, you need to find out, are you working? If you are not working, what else? Do you get money somewhere? If you do not, what else? Now you need to find out every bit of information that can help you get that specific goal that you stated. If you are working, then you break it down. Okay, maybe my monthly salary is 1,000 cedis. So I'll save the entire 1,000 cedis. Or I have to buy something and be selling so that I'll get more than 1,000 cedis every month. If you're able to break down all these plans into actions and you follow them, you realize that you'll be so much able to achieve a lot of things. A lot. But this year, on one of the social media accounts that I am managing, my goal was to just reach 500 organic followers, 500 organic followers. And guess what? I was able to achieve more than 500 organic followers. The year hasn't ended. We are in September. But I broke down all the actions that I would take to get that 500 organic without ads, 500 organic followers. And I've been able to get more than the 500. So as you are completing national service or as you are entering national service, get a career goal, write it down, set action plans, break them down to long term, short term, and then manage know how to manage each at a time. You'll be able to achieve a lot if you can do this. It will shock you that you will not wake up and say that there is no job or there is no work. Because right now, as you are waiting to be posted, there are a lot of online tools that you can learn a lot of digital skills at free, at no cost at all. And these skills are paying. These skills are paying. How would you know if you don't have a career goal? So let's work at these things, and I believe that we'll really achieve a get far. Now, the next thing that we have to do is time management. Now, a lot of us, we feel like once we complete school, we are done. Like now we have the time to ourselves. We can sleep at the time we want. We can wake up at the time we want. We can go where we want. We can do what we want. You have to prioritize your time and what you do to know what is important and what can be done later. You have to prioritize. If you cannot put priorities on the things that you do, you waste a lot of time without even you knowing. And right now, by the help of AI, there are a lot of tools that you can use to manage yourself. There's Notion. I think Notion is the best for me so far. You can manage your time, manage what you do, your task, every bit of it. So number one, in your time management, know what to prioritize. You know that today you have an online meeting. You book your calendar. Once it's about time, maybe 30 minutes to the time, you get a reminder. A friend's birthday, you don't miss it because you have it on your calendar. Just know how to prioritize. Okay, and then you have to look at your work-life balance. So you have to get your time for work, time for leisure, time to rest and to avoid burnout. Some of us, we go to work 9 to 5, and then when we come, we leave work maybe around 5 p.m. In a rush hour, we be let's go and play game. When you know that you go to work the following morning, Or maybe you are so tired and then you hang on, you are on a call. You stay on, I'm not saying don't be on call, I beg you, but you stay on call for like 5 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour, and then you sleep and you go to work very late the next day. So from my first introduction, I mentioned you have to know yourself. If you know that you are someone who wants to be by him or herself, get a remote job. Because if you don't balance your work life well, you may be fired. You really may be fired. So we have to learn how to manage our time very, very well. Now, how do we build a digital brand? How do we build a personal brand? So your personal brand is your digital brand. Now, one of the common things here is that now if I ask anybody, let me stop the presentation. So, John, what is your full name?
Nati John Tete.
Nati. Is it like this?
NWTTY.
NAA.
Yeah, TY. Nati John Tete. Yes.
Okay, Nati John Tete. So we are searching for Nati John. Are you this one?
Yes.
John Tete Nati. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see the importance of digital branding or your personal brand. It is so important because that is the first course of action that anybody will know of you when they are looking for you. And this is one of the things that we don't take into consideration at all. I mean, at all. So we'll get there. We'll get there when we get to LinkedIn, and then I'm teaching you about LinkedIn. There are basic things that you need to put into consideration when you are building your personal brand. First of all, you have to look at seeing your personal brand as a different entity from you or as you yourself. Now, there are two things. You can either do your personal brand as a different entity. That is to say, even though I am Meshack, I have another profile which is the same Meshack, but that profile is like a product. Okay. The same Meshack, but it's like a product. And that product, I'm just selling things about Meshack. Or I have Meshack, which is Meshack, and I'm talking like Meshack. So you have two types of personal brands. We have the third party brand, and then we have the first person brand. So the first person brand is you, and the third person brand is you, but representing like a company or a different organization on its own. So as you step out, as you enter into the job market, you have to figure out, is my brand standing well? How do people perceive me? So these are some of the things that we'll look at. We are looking at the third person brand, and then we'll use that in correlation to the first person. So first of all, you need to define your brand identity. So what identifies you? What is your purpose? What is your mission? What are your core values? Okay, and you'll be able to know these things when you know yourself from your self-discovery, when you know your SWOT, when you know your strengths, when you know your weaknesses. So if you are treating your brand as yourself, what is your purpose? And what are your values? What are you offering to the person that is coming to hire you? Okay. Now, for instance, right now, maybe you have a LinkedIn and you've not started posting yet. Before you start posting, you need to find a purpose why you want to post. Do you want to post because you want to get employment, or you want to post because you are an entrepreneur who wants people to reach out to you? If you know this, then you understand the kind of people you are posting to, which is your target audience. And you can classify them as customers, whether they want giving you job or they want wanting job from you. They are all your customers. You know your brand, you know what you stand for, you know your purpose, you know your mission, you know your core values, you know what you want to achieve, you know the principles that are guiding your actions. Because you have already listed all these things down. Now you understand who you are driving your post to. For instance, if John is posting on LinkedIn, John will be like, this week I had the opportunity to visit Kumasi Do I know? Or maybe Obuasi Mines. And at Obuasi Mines, I was privileged to interview 5 people about the ongoing Stop Galamsey now. And I had some bit of information which are relevant to policy making decisions. So if anybody is looking for data in terms of policy making decisions, they can reach out to me. Now, this is a third person branding. Now, John is standing as an identity who can feed you information. You reach out to John, you reach out to him. He can get money from that. And the second thing is that John can then post again, or now John will change his post and say that this week I was able to visit Obuasi Mines and I had the opportunity to interact with a few people and I got the data about this and the data states this, that. One of the things I am passionate about is collecting data from some of these villages and the things they are going through to inform policy decision makings. If you are an organization in need of anyone to help you in data collection to inform your policy decisions, reach out to me. John is now looking for employment. You understand? So when you know how you want to position yourself, you are able to attract the right customer for what you need, whether it is a job you need or it is a service you want to render. But a lot of people think that, okay, if I'm doing brand, it's only my logo. The logo doesn't say anything. The logo is just an identity that represents what you do. It can be even different from your brand's name. And it's not all brands that needs a logo. Your brand is in your voice, is in your tonation, is in your message, what you cut across. Okay. So I'll leave this aspect because this aspect talks about the logo perspective. We can discuss branding in details later on. So I'll leave this aspect in that. Now, the next thing we look at is you need to have a compelling voice as a brand. So like I said, with the scenario that I used for John, you realize my tone of voice. The message was clear, concise, compelling. And the tone of voice is targeting to agencies. And when I talk about agencies, we are talking about policy-making agencies. Your tone of voice is very, very, very important. Very, very, very important. Very, 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 very important. Now, the same way that John broadcasted this message, we can use a different tone of voice. For instance, are you aware that people are destroying the Obuasi mines and people are even complaining? Some are dying, some are this, some are that. Now, this is a tone of voice that is not selling, number one. That is not looking for buyers. It is an authoritative tone of voice, a casual tone of voice that is just giving an informal information without data statistics. So maybe Sandra or Judith, you want to start writing about food diets. You have to know how you want to write about it. You want to write about it friendly that people, oh, Judith, I think that my brother needs this. He looks this and that. How can I help him? I think my mom has been admitted. She was diagnosed with stroke. What are some of the diets that we can help her with to help her recover faster? People will reach out to you based on the information you put out there on your social media. So you realize that branding is so broad that if you can only focus on branding, your personal branding as a person, you won't need anybody to reach out to you or you won't need to be fighting or looking for jobs. There are a lot of people that are very talented, highly talented with knowledge that they are not utilizing. All you need is a platform. Either you're on LinkedIn, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram. Don't worry about TikTok. TikTok, forgive me, but TikTok, there are a lot of villagers on TikTok. Anybody can get 1,000 followers on TikTok within the shortest possible time. So you realize that now content on TikTok, a lot of them are fan stuff. I was having a conversation with a hotel that we are working with now for their branding strategies. And then they ask some of the social media channels that we recommend. Lo and behold, I recommended TikTok as part of the social media channels that we are developing the content for. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and then Twitter. And one of the guys from his team mentioned that TikTok is for villagers. At a glance, you think that maybe he's throwing an insult or talking trash. But when we did our research, it is true. It is easy for anybody to become an influencer on TikTok, regardless of where he is or where he's coming from. And if you're a business, a corporate business, not any kind of business, a corporate business where you have corporate social responsibilities, there are some platforms that you don't try. Don't try. Nevertheless, any social media platform that you decide is as a result of your target audience. If your target audience are people who love fun and are always on TikTok, then yes, you can go in for TikTok. If your target are people who like visual stuff, then you can look for, you can go for Instagram. If you are targeting professionals, then you can look at LinkedIn. Nevertheless, what I'm saying is your tone of voice is very, very important. And at the end of the session, and at the end of this particular lesson, I would want that every one of you doing something, you start putting your voice out there. You know, one of the advantages of writing about what you do, you become a thought leader. When we see a thought leader, someone who has knowledge in a particular field or space. So, for instance, Judith, if Judith starts writing about diet on her LinkedIn profile consistently for like a period of time, now if people are looking for information about diet, they just go to Judith's profile and they get what they want. Because Judith becomes a thought leader in a dietitian space per what she's writing. If people are looking for content regarding villages, they know that when they get to John's profile, he has that content. John becomes a thought leader in the village perspective of content creation. Probably when you're looking for songwriters and Sandra decided that she will start writing songs or be giving 10 tips on how to write your first song, 7 ways of knowing whether your song will get well or not. People will go to her profile and they see her as a thought leader in songwriting. So knowing your brand, writing up, you shouldn't even feel shy that when I write, I'll not get like. LinkedIn is the platform that when you get 5 likes, it means that you are doing better than somebody with 1,000 likes on Instagram. LinkedIn. So I encourage every one of us, after the session, let's take it up. As you are waiting to get a job, or as you are starting your service, or as you are just there being an entrepreneur, start writing about something. Let your voice go out there. It should drive you to be a thought leader in your space. It should be a goal that you want to be a thought leader in your space. People reach out to you when it comes to this. So the next thing that you do when you know your message tone or your tone of voice is now creating high quality content. Now in creating high quality content, now you develop a content strategy. I'll share with you some of my sample content strategies, and then you can follow if you really want to go into this. Whether you are doing it for yourself as a person, or you are doing it for yourself again as a product, or even you are doing it for your own business that you've started. Now, you have to understand that even as you are looking for a job, you start by letting your employer know what you have done and can do. So the content of whatever you are doing now, how best you are cooking, how best video you are shooting, put it out there. Put it out there. They get to see what you've done even before you come to the organization. My first UI UX job that I got, the person only knows that I was into design, graphic designing, gave me the job. Now my next UI gig that I got was from LinkedIn. That, in fact, that's the first UI product or design I've posted on my LinkedIn profile. I've not posted any again. I posted just once, but I continuously started getting UI gigs from LinkedIn. And because it was a high quality content, and you can do same. Shadrach can do same with his medical laboratory staff. Judith, you can do same with your dietitian staff. Sandra can equally do same. And John can equally do same. We just should not stop writing. We just should not stop writing. And it will fetch us a lot. You realize that as you are waiting to be employed, you get to find satisfaction in what you are doing, even when you don't have a job. So let's keep these things up and start doing them again to help us. So finally, you have to build your online presence. You have to build your online presence. And your online presence, number one, is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the only tool that makes you visible when you don't have a website. So anybody that knows you will want to type your name on Google. In Ghana, people are not likely to type your name on Google because a lot of people do not know the need for search engine optimization. They don't even know how it is, what it is, how it works. They just don't care about it. But abroad, and especially if you want to apply job remotely, your LinkedIn profile has to stand out if you don't have a portfolio website. Because anybody will just type your name on Google. That's your first step to what we call search engine optimization. So LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to be known worldwide, everywhere. Everywhere. And I mean everywhere. So if you are not on LinkedIn, then you have to, unless you don't want to be a professional in your field or in your area. But if you want to be a thought leader in your space, in your field, in your area of expertise, you have to be on LinkedIn. Many of the jobs that comes my way are as a result of LinkedIn. People just type my name and they be like, oh, I searched you out and I found out that you can do A, B, C. So that's why I'm reaching out to you. Okay, so let's take this very important. Yes, Sandra, you can proceed. I know there is time for question, but you can proceed.
Okay, so please, I was trying to find out that if you are maybe a graphic designer, you have 3 interests at the same time, would you be able to post the 3 interests at the same time using one LinkedIn account, or you need to create separate accounts for every interest you hold?
Okay, so first of all, are the interests in relation to each other, or they are separately, like they don't relate to each other at all?
Yeah, like you are a graphic designer, maybe you are a songwriter, and maybe you are a dietitian too. Would you have to combine all these things on one LinkedIn account, or you have to create separate account for every interest, as I have mentioned?
So that is a great question. So I'll use graphic designer, songwriter, and a dietitian. Dietitian is a very broad field or subject or space or topic. Now, I would advise that dietitian should have a page, not a profile, a page. So you have a single profile and you can have multiple pages under your profile. I'll walk you through LinkedIn and I'll show you. Now, as for singing, it can be an interest. So you can put singing alongside your graphic design. And people will be happy that you don't just give them graphic or visual designing content, but you also entertain them. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yes. So you can either choose the graphic design and singing, or singing and dietitian. I will not advise graphic design and dietitian unless you are designing dietitian tips and not as in posting as a designer, because both fields are too broad to put the two of them together on one platform. But singing and designing, that is dope. That is amazing. So you can decide that Monday I post about some of the works I do. Tuesday I post about my work. Wednesday I post about my work. Thursday my work. Friday I just post about singing or a song that I have recorded yourself a day in a graphic design live singing. Now your audience knows that from Monday to Thursday, it's your work. Friday, they will come to you for entertainment, and that is good. If you decide to go singing and dietitian, the same way. So you can select one of the other, and then you implement those ones. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. See. Now, the next thing that is your professional image is your CV. Now, remember, LinkedIn is your online sort of SEO, online sort of professional image online. Now, your CV is also your professional image when it comes to people seeing you and what you have done. Okay, so your CV, your cover letter, and your online profiles, they are your first impression. Very, very first impression. So you always make sure that they align with the message you want to send. So you ask yourself, is this the image I want an employer to see? So check your CV and ask yourself, is this the image I want an employer to see? And I can share my CV with you so that maybe you want to tweak your CV. You look at how my CV is, and then you can do save. So one of the things that I want you to put in mind is that you have to see your LinkedIn profile as your billboard. So your LinkedIn profile is your billboard. When potential employers come and they see it, they know that, okay, they can hire you. Okay, so your CV is very, very important, as well as your online presence. Make sure you know yourself. Make sure you build your brand. Make sure you know how to manage your time now, and get your professional image ready. From today, you don't see it as your CV. See it as your professional image. Because that paper, when you take it, your dressing change, the way you talk changes. So it's your professional image. That's why you have to so much work at it. So that's why the need for internships and volunteering. Just do something that will put you on a CV, or you put on a CV, and especially attending conferences. And I'll give you a trick in attending conferences, something that I used in 2022, which really helped me a lot. So now let's look at a bit of LinkedIn, which is your gateway to professional networking. Now, in as much as LinkedIn is very good for networking, there are other ways that we can really network, and then I will look at that later after this one. So first of all, to create an effective LinkedIn profile, now building your profile, you have to build a profile that stands out. Okay, your LinkedIn profile has to stand out. Now let me walk you through my LinkedIn. I have to share another screen. Okay, so let me see if you can see. So let me share my entire desktop so that it will be easy. Good. So you can see now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you realize that my LinkedIn profile is not a selfie. Number one, it's not a selfie. It's not a picture that I've opened my mouth too wide. It's not a picture that I have a lot of distractions on my background. Now, one of the disadvantages of some of us using LinkedIn is the profile images that we select. Your LinkedIn profile stands out and you are able to be found earlier or easier when you have every bit of LinkedIn requirements set. For instance, LinkedIn says that you have to set a cover photo. LinkedIn says that your profile picture has to stand out because it is a professional platform. LinkedIn says that you have to get a headline, right? Now, there's something that the about section. Now, if you don't do any of these things, it will be difficult for you to appear in search when people are looking for stuff. So you realize that people have visited my profile 30 times this week. There's been 307 impressions. But the most important is this is what causes that. This, your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn. So let me look for John. John.
Yeah, hello. Sowah.
Yes, I'm looking for you. So John. So you see that let me click on this. You see that if I will see John's contact info, right? Unless I click on his backdrop or his cover photo. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. But John, this thing should be seen without me clicking on this because not a lot of people will get the time to visit your profile and click on your cover photo. So instead of putting this here, you can rather change this be here, and then your profile is here. Or even ignore the profile at all because you already have a profile here.
Okay.
And personally, I do not advise anybody putting open to network, open to job, and all of that. When you keep on writing, okay, people will know what exactly you are looking for and they will reach out to you. Is that okay?
Sure.
So let me move. We'll talk about something and then after the lesson, you have to go and change this. So let's
Okay.
go. So your LinkedIn headline should be more than just your job title. You should capture what you do and what you are aspiring to. For example, instead of marketing graduate, try aspiring digital marketer, passionate about data-driven strategies. Now, you see LinkedIn, I'm a vocabulary of do you know that? So just write it. Just write it. You can use ChatGPT to draft something. Okay. Now, in the about section of your LinkedIn, don't just list what you've done. Tell a story. What is your mission? What drives you? What unique skill and perspective do you bring to the table? I have a wonderful. Let me move there. My so when you look at my about, it says that founder, creator, educator, entrepreneur, and an exceptional media. So it's talking about what you need. If you need a creator, okay, I can help you. If you need someone to educate, okay, I can help you. If you need a media tech expert, I can really help you in doing that. So your about us, your profile, and then your cover page, they are all very, very important. It helps the algorithm to position you very, very high. Is that okay?
Sure.
So the next thing is also your experience and skill. So when you are listing experiences, don't mention tasks, focus on achievement. So when you look at here, experiences and skill, so you look at, so when you go and read about these particular experiences and skills, it tells you all the things that I did when I was in that role. Is that okay? So make sure you have enlightened every bit of these experiences, every bit of them. Your education place is intact, your license and certification, your skills, every bit of them. It is very, very important. Now you are looking at this platform as your online billboard, the next possible employer or for the next possible investor. Earlier, someone asked the question that if you are an entrepreneur, how do you a particular question like that. And frankly, if you're an entrepreneur and you want funding, LinkedIn will be your best. LinkedIn, just engage. Look for pages and groups that talks about crowdfunding and then funding startups. Keep pushing your work there. Keep writing on there. You realize that one day someone will reach out to you. And then you get the gig that you ever want. People are talking about it. Okay, now that you have your LinkedIn profile, let's look at how you can apply for a job on LinkedIn. There are so many ways of applying jobs on LinkedIn. Personally, one of the things that I love about LinkedIn job search is this. Now, when you come to LinkedIn jobs, and you search what you are looking for, maybe social media, you realize that this social media is not filtered. It's a lot. Some can be in person or remote. I have filtered. Let me unfilter this and then show. So these job posting are general posting. They are not filtered. Now, if you don't want a remote job, filter your job search. You are looking for job posted 24 hours ago. That is the best. Now you look at experience level. You're looking for either entry, internship, entry, associate, mid, director. You know, one of the reasons a lot of people say they don't get jobs, but they've been trying on LinkedIn is you don't know this. So you apply any job. Meanwhile, the job is requiring for a particular level. Every job on LinkedIn has a level they are looking for. So before you search for a job on LinkedIn, you make sure that the job has been posted 24 hours ago. That's your basic one. Before you go to any other day, past week, look for 24 hours. Now you come to the level. You know yourself. You know what you can do. If it is entry level, you see, the more I pick the section, the more the show result. Look at the show result. Now, if I put it here, you see that it reduces. Do you see that? So you know you are looking for entry level. Okay. Now, if it is remote, you select. If it is hybrid, you select. So let me say hybrid. See that is only 2 that is showing. Let me go on site, which is in person. 8. Is that okay? So we look for in person. Okay. Now, this photographer, this was posted 18 hours ago. So let's look for this job. Now we click on this job. And then first of all, we have to look to see if we will find who posted the job. So in this, it wasn't specified. It wasn't specified. Let's look for another job. So customer solutions promoted.
What is this?
So you see this job, Hapak Lloyd. You see this job?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before you even apply to this job, you first of all go to the page, check who has what role. So you realize, okay, I have 4 alumni working here. Now I look at who has which role in this job, and then I create a connection with that person. Now, immediately I create a connection with that person. I now write to the person. If it is the HR, you can use Google search for the job. You look for this
Can
job.
you use Google search, please?
Coordinators, please.
Hello? Can you use the Google search, please, man? I asked you.
I think the meeting has been hijacked. So You look for
No one asked you, you fucking dickhead. Shut the fuck up, Carl. Who the fuck do you think you are talking shit, bro?
Ampa. Your meeting has been hijacked. Can you remove the person?
No meeting has been hijacked. I asked a fucking question. You answer that question. You understand?
Ampa.
Yes, I am here. Meshack, you go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So one of the things about Zoom is that Zoom has default. Anyone at all can make a meeting at any time. So with meetings, you have to always mute everybody by default. If you don't do that, exactly.
I understand.
So we type in here, we look for the HR for this particular company. And then you see, you get a lot of contacts, right? So once you get this contact, you reach out to the HR in person. That is after applying the job on LinkedIn. Is that okay? So many of us, we start to say that we don't get jobs when we apply on LinkedIn, they don't get back to us. These are some of the ways that you can apply the job on LinkedIn and get instant feedback. Okay, now let's continue. Now imagine you get the job on LinkedIn. One of the things that you have to do before you go for the job interview is to research about the company. You always have to. You always have to research about the company. You have to know the company's core values, what they are into, what they does, every basic thing about them. If you are able to know them when you are talking, you talk with some level of confidence, right? Now, the next thing is you appear very professional. Okay, so you go to the interview just dressed in coat anyhow. You have to really appear very, very professional.
You need to talk.
Added to that, you have to always arrive before the interview time.
Meshack, go on. Go on.
You have to always arrive before the interview time. Next, you have to be very, very confident. Now, how do we develop growth mindset as people that we want jobs? Now we are done with service. We want to go out there and look for a job. You have to understand that it is not every job that you apply that you get. So first of all, you have to embrace challenges. The challenge of being rejected at once, the challenge of being not given a job, and even to a point, the challenge of being fired at your job. You have to embrace it. It's all part of the learning curve, and it's all part of what will help you grow. Is that okay? Now you can also develop a very powerful growth mindset where you network beyond LinkedIn. Amidst all the things that I have said and about you sharing your content on LinkedIn, there are seminars that people host every now and then. You just go online and type dietitian conferences in Ghana. You will get a lot of them. And when you are going to those conferences, check the conferences that are free. When you are going to those conferences, all you need to do is to get a business card, find a name for yourself. So, Judy Diet or something. Print it, add a telephone number, give yourself a role. Take it to the conference, sit down, enjoy the conference. When you finish, network, give people cards. And trust me, in 2022, I went to a conference and I did this. It landed me one of my biggest website gigs. I wasn't invited. I just woke up, looked for where there is a tech conference. I dressed and I went. And I went just like that. Because once the conference is free, you can go. All you have to do is just dress well, get yourself a business card, or maybe you interact with the person. Oh, I'm short of cards. Can I take your number? Meanwhile, you don't even have some. So you have to network beyond LinkedIn, beyond. As you are doing your online work, you are doing the grounds work. Is that okay? You go to conferences, like it's really, really, really helps, and it puts you on another level altogether. Now, the fact that you have a job or you are looking for a job, doesn't mean that that is the end of you. You have to continue learning. You have to. You have to continue learning. Learning never stops. So we keep on learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. And we keep on developing our skills. Is that okay? Yeah. So basically, in conclusion, one of the things that I would like to let you know is that don't sit back and be waiting for any job. No. You have LinkedIn, you know what you are good at. Start writing something, start drafting something, start putting things online. And I believe it will really, really help you a lot. I'll put the link to the personality test online, and I'll give you links to online courses that you can take even as you are home, or even as you are starting your service, or even as you are looking for a job. Yeah. Thank you very much. Any question?
Thank you, Meshack. Thank you so much. Can we react using the react button there? Either clap, either to show love or any other thing, right? So yeah, there's a question, but before then, I would like to put this across. So you see, Meshack mentioned something that it's hard to find a job in Ghana, right? That's absolutely true. However, there's a place for where you can actually, what's the name, leverage on relationships, right? To also land the role as well. When I got connected to Meshack, now imagine getting connected to Meshack. Meshack has a network. The people he knows also, they also have a network. So sometimes it's beyond just calling someone a friend, a colleague. Just look at what the person is representing, right? Now you see Meshack as a content man. Beyond the content, he is connected to a few other people. Those people are also connected to a few other people. So that becomes a network for you. One person will be able to introduce you to several networks. I hope you get it. So sometimes I think we should really appreciate the fact that we find certain people in our lives. I hope you get it. They may not be there to give you the job. They may be there to just tell you to correct something on your CV. They may be there to tell you to, oh, join this conference. They may be there to tell you to, I found this opportunity somewhere, and I think it's best you take advantage of it, right? So I think all these things, they help. Some of us, we have come this far because we decided to follow, right? Okay. So let's John, I'll come to you, but then there was a question in the chat area. So Meshack, you have a question here. Someone is saying that you see you were speaking about the fact that I think it's not really necessary to put on your profile open to job, all these things. I think they said they are going to introduce a new, what we call a tagline or something. What's the name? Hungry. And then I saw it somewhere on LinkedIn, very funny. But someone is saying that there are cases where people don't even know you are looking for a job, but you yourself, you know that you are looking for a job. So how then do you go about this? Is it that you go online, tag people, tag companies that you want a job, or what? So that's the question there.
Okay, so what I said is it's not really necessary. Nevertheless, it's not something that if you want to do, you shouldn't do. So that is, I don't know if you understand me in that perspective. Yes. I'm not saying that you won't do it. I'm just saying that it's not really necessary. Now, it's not everybody that can go through the process of searching for jobs on LinkedIn. So it is easier for recruiters and employers to identify you by that description. So if you want to do that, you can do it. That's okay. Now, if you want to go through the process of getting the job, searching for the HR or whoever is in charge, writing to them as well as applying on LinkedIn, then that is also okay. So I'm not stopping you. You can do it.
Okay, that's fine. Let me put this across as well. You see, there's one thing in Africa that is not really helping. We tend to mostly listen to our friends, look at situations, circumstances, just to define what we want to do. But right from the presentation, he mentioned that you need to understand yourself, your value, and all these things. We had colleagues way back in uni that will tell you that. I know most of you may not understand P, but let me just say it doesn't mean find internship in Yashi. You see, it is true. Maybe you won't need it, right? But would you want to follow this colleague to say, yes, I don't need it? I remember when I was the attachment coordinator, you can ask Meshack. It's not that we wanted to do, what's the name, internship. We were even going out there looking for companies just for people to be able to connect to the industry. I hope you get it. So that even before you go out there, you have that kind of relationship with them already. And then you use that to build on your network, and then you build your portfolio in the end. There are people who didn't do internship throughout their 4 year stay on campus. They are working. You also wanted to follow that path, but then maybe one way or the other, you didn't see it as as good on your side. We are going for seminars, you won't join. And someone will tell you, what are you going to do? These people, they're just going to tell you all these things we have been hearing, one or two. I attended a cybersecurity seminar in 2019. Built a network. All these people now, they are all working in top class institutions. Now we found ourselves on a platform that opportunities are shared every day. You think if I build myself well enough for these opportunities and they come, will I fail? Or will I not be able to apply for these jobs? No. Because I chose to be in the right circle of people, right? So sometimes let's not look at people, let's not look at what people are saying. Oh, what are you doing with internship? What are you doing with this conference? Like Meshack said, he attended an event that he was not invited, but look at how he got at the end of the meeting. So, like I'm saying, all through these sessions, our goal as part of the presentations is to help us change our mindset towards certain things. Because in the end, you find yourself in a situation that you wish you could have done something. So there's a saying that it is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. In the end, you feel sorry, and then you think life is unfair, or what's the name? I mean, in some cases, life is not fair, right? But then we are also given the opportunity to be able to choose as well. John, please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Benjamin, because he was the one who made me aware of this webinar, and I'm grateful to join this section. Mr. Sowah, thank you so much for opening my eyes. All this while I thought my LinkedIn profile is, like good. I never knew that there are some petty mistakes that is actually, preventing me from having wider, appearance on the platform. So thank you so much. That is all I want to say. I just want to say thank you. I'm grateful for this opportunity.
All right, John, thank you so much. So there's a lot to talk, but I don't think we can. There's a lot to share, rather, sorry. There's a question in the chat area. Okay. Meshack, someone wants to find out. The question has been deleted. Oh, I'm watching the wrong area. Hey, sorry. Yeah, he said, how can he master graphic design to attract customer on usual basis? You see how that Meshack is into graphics, right? I'm sure maybe he has that tolerance level when he has to do it. Oh, make a changes to the logo, make a changes to this place. Me, honestly, me too, I can't do that, because it's not like you are boring me. The more you do that, it's like you're telling me that, Charlie, let me change the price for you. But like he mentioned, if that thing is not your passion, you won't do it, right? All right, Meshack, if you want to address that, how can you master design, graphic design, and attract customers? I'm sure graphic design goes beyond just designing, and I think we can look at that as well. So thank you. You can go ahead.
If the person is asking about mastering, I don't know the level at which the person is now, because we don't master, we keep on learning. I'm not sure there is anybody who will say that he or she has mastered graphic design. We keep on looking up to people, we keep on learning. So if you want to find out how you can learn, then yes. How you can answer a master, I don't know how you can master, but how you can learn, you just have to go to Pinterest and find inspiration. Pinterest is one of the platforms that I use for design inspiration. They basically have all kinds of designs. So I see the design there. I try to do the exact same design several or multiple times. Okay. Now, when I do that and I finish, now I try to, even though the exact same design, I try to change it in my own way before I send it to my client. So in mastering design, I'm not sure anyone will say that they are master of graphic design. We just keep on making ourselves better or improving on what we already know. So to improve, I think that you should continue learning. And when you are learning, one of the ways to learn that a lot of us do not know is that we go online and then we go and look for graphic design course. Unless you are starting from scratch, then you can look at graphic design course and watch 5 hours tutorial or 4 hours tutorial or 1 hour tutorial. The best way to learn is that you go to YouTube and then you type how to make a social media flyer. You are specific to what you want. So if you continuously watch how to make social media flyers, you realize that you get to know different ways of making social media flyers. Is that okay? How to make a YouTube banner. And then that way you learn the particular thing. And then you can call yourself a graphic designer, knowing various things. When you go online and say how to be a graphic designer, you get a whole lot of tutorials. Some are 6 hours, some are 1 hour, some are 5 hours. You'll not be able to look at it. You learn by solving a problem. So how to do this, how to do that, how to do this. When you learn this way, you realize that you'll be good. The same with programming. You can't go and say how to create a complete website. You get a 2 hour video. Start from a page. So how to create a single page. Then you learn it. How to create a sign up page. Then you learn it. How to create about us page. Then you learn it. So people tend to say that learning is difficult and I can master this skill because you want to learn all the skill in one video. You cannot. You basically cannot learn all the skill in one video. Just find one skill that is talking about one aspect of one, get one video that is talking about one aspect of the skill. So you're a dietitian, learn about one aspect of diets. Don't go and look at the whole video of dietitian. I hope this helps the person who wants to master graphic design.
Right. So Shadrach, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I really thank the organizers for this program. I thought that for a lab person, how would this benefit me? But the truth is, I have learned a lot, especially the thing with how to get jobs on LinkedIn. I never thought of that. And I think for me, the advantage to that is the hiring manager sees not just how good you are, but then your ability to go beyond what the ordinary people are looking at. Just to add to it, I think one of the reasons, or some of the reasons personally, I agree with Meshack on not necessarily putting open to work on your LinkedIn profile, is that it kind of poses the message that you are desperate for job, right?
Yes.
And so what that happens is that when you get someone who even wants your skill, because of that desperation they are perceived, they begin to negotiate any, sorry to use the word, silly conditions with you, low salary, poor working environment, and they perceive that because of your desperation, you will take the job. Okay. The other thing is you get to be stigmatized in a way. There are employers who are looking for people who chase them. They want someone who really wants what they have. Okay, not just anyone out there. Now, when you have this open to work, some people or some employers may think that, oh, okay, this guy doesn't have a lot of opportunities around him. Okay, or you are not hardworking enough. That's why you don't have a job, right? So if it's good, but if you can limit them, it helps a lot because it also sells you as a person, right? The other funny thing is, if I'm your employer and I come to your LinkedIn profile and you have open to work there, I mean, we are all working at places, but we still need better options, right? So if I see that you are looking for a job whilst you are working for me, there is this uncomfortable situation that may come in between us, right? So for me, I think that is why I will agree to Meshack that sometimes it's not the best to put it out there. Go through the stress, reach out to the, go through the process he has said, and they are excellent. I think that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc, for the contribution. Do we have any questions so that we end for today? Daniel, go ahead.
Okay, there's a particular. I'm seeing a particular question. My question, please. What is the best way to leave an organization to
Oh, yeah,
join
yeah, yeah, yeah.
another? With my personality, I don't find it easy working in an office, but to work from home. But to work from home, I'll be glad if anyone can lead me to any work from home job. So first of all, we cannot lead you to any work from home job when we don't know what you are good at. So whenever people reach out to me that they need a job, what the first thing I'll ask you is send me your CV. And if the job you are seeking for is in terms of development, I would like a project. If it's in terms of design, I'll still like a project. Okay. Now in transitioning, don't transition when you don't know what to do. Unless you are me. Me, I transition when I want to transition. One of the things about me is I'm never desperate for job. I always transition when I want to transition. And I think God helps me a lot in that aspect. Before I transition, there is another job. Every time there is another job. And sometimes the jobs even becomes overwhelming that I turn them down. So don't transition when you don't have a job. That one it will haunt you and it will hurt you. It can traumatize you. Okay. So before you leave your current job, make sure you have a job. I believe there is a WhatsApp group. So this particular person, you can put your current skill and possibly your CV. And I can help you.
Meshack, are you speaking? I think he dropped off. So adding to that before Daniel comes in, you see, national service changed what's the name, my idea of work, right? So for my national service, almost all the roles I had or the opportunities I got, it was only, I think, two of them that were going to offer hybrid and two was going to offer remote, right? So I went for one, which was the remote. And it has changed my idea of working. It made me feel like, do I even have to go to the office to go and work? I mean, right. But that's from my background because I read IT. That's something I will get. But let's say, okay, Meshack, you are back, but I'll let you in. Let's say you read banking and finance. Sometimes to the program you read also comes to what's the name? Counts, right? You can't tell Shadrach to work from home when he knows that there's a patient in the lab or there's someone to attend to. No, you get it. So it's the program you read as well that can afford you that flexibility, unless maybe you want to transition from one career or from one field to another. That way, you can be looking out for work from home. What's the name? Opportunities, right? So Dr. Shadrach is even say he was about to say that because your field counts, right? Let's just say you read what's the name? Agriculture, and you want to work from home. Which work? Maybe you have a farm or something that you are working on, but you need to look at all these things, right? And then don't be, like you said, don't be so much consumed about I need to find a remote job. You'll be traumatized, honestly. Like you mentioned something, it's not like we are here to brag or something. It's like that with me as well. I can transition at any time. I was in insurance few months ago. I have moved back to IT firm. That is some of us because of how you decided to be flexible enough. However, maybe if you try that track, something will happen that unless maybe we come and every day we come and just say, Charlie, to be well, to be well. I hope you get it. So you need to check all these things and then you're good to go. Daniel, go. I think we can take last two questions and we can end for today. Yeah, Daniel.
All right. Thank you very much, Senior Ben. My question is, I think our facilitator from the onset said that he will teach us how to create content. So I just wanted to draw his attention to that. I don't know whether he has already said it and I missed it. Content creating strategies. And so I wanted him to speak on that. Then I think he has given us a good trick to attending conferences, which from today, I'm really, really going to use But my question is there a way he would suggest we get some of these free conferences to attend, or we should simply Google them or on LinkedIn, or is there a particular way that we are supposed to use to get some of these free conferences related to our programs and our expertise and maybe our passion so that we can attend them? Yeah, that's my next question. I think these are the two questions I have. And MLS Sowah, please, I'm currently in need of a job. So please let's connect and see how you can help me out. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Okay, thank
Meshack, you can
you,
take that.
Dan.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mentioned that I'll share a content strategy with you. Some of the things that I'll share with you are very confidential, but I love teaching, and for the sake of that, I always want permit me to call you my student. I always want my student to have the best. So whenever I get opportunity to talk like this, I share my CV and some of the things that I've worked on so that to guide them to also be better at what they do. So I'll share with you from the earlier the first session you mentioned there is a WhatsApp page. That's why I'm reluctant. My focus is on the slide and on the screen. I don't want to be typing, so I'll share everything on the page. I'll forward them to Benjamin, and then we'll share with you. Is that okay?
Yes, please. That's fine.
And then on the question of conferences, so yeah, LinkedIn is one. You just have to look for maybe, let me show you something. Permit me to stop sharing my screen. I'll share it back again. Okay, so for instance, let's look at social events. So you realize that there is a generative AI event here, 31st December. There is Investing in Africa event here, which is October 7. Do you see that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, all you have to do, check for this event. And then when you click attend, you have to find out if it is free or paid.
Okay.
You are looking at whether the event is online, in person. So now that I have clicked attend, they will send me a link to my email. Okay, so this particular event is online. Do you see that? You see, it's online. Yeah, so this is one of the ways I personally search the events that I attend. And these things, they build your CV. And these companies, they'll keep on emailing you because they need attendance. They measure their KPI based on the number of people that are attending their event. So they will email you. So this is one. The next thing that we do, or I do, is look for tech upcoming tech events in Ghana. So there is the basics of video game development by Eric Gross, which is October 12. So you look at this and it's free. The event is free. You check the venue. This one is online. So you see, there are a lot of ways that you can get to attend some of these events. But the beauty is, we don't know. We don't know. And we don't get so, these are some of the things that the lecturers didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see. Yeah. They told us a lot, but these are some of the things that they didn't tell us. And I'm grateful that I know, and I'm glad that I'm sharing the knowledge. You can also go ahead and teach others. So then this is another way that you can look for the event. Always be specific with your search. Very important. Because I'm into SEO, I'm keen on what I type. I'm very, very keen on. I just don't type what is this. You have to be specific, like very specific with the kind of keywords you use in search. I hope this helps.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So thank you. Let me just share something. And if there are no questions, I think we can end. So I attended a seminar. Did I even say a seminar or a summit? I mean, whichever. It was what we call industry and then academia talk, right? So industry will present what they have, academia will present what they have. So in that meeting, I think I was in third year. In that meeting, we were made to know that, you see, when you go to the university, there's what we call a curriculum, right? So let's just say you entered 2018. That time they had gone for what we call accreditation. So that curriculum that has been designed is what you are going to follow through for your 4 years. So what you are made to understand is that whatever program you selected, anything that has been presented to you, unless otherwise maybe anything comes up, that's what you are going to do for the 4 years. But then industry was telling us that, look, academia shouldn't just get up and design the curriculum. They need to consult industry to know what is the current trend, right? I will not mention anybody's name, but I know schools which are still learning Adobe Flash. I don't know how many of you who know Adobe Flash player. No industry, even the Adobe, the company itself, they are not using that software again. But you are teaching the student to use this to go into the job market. You can take a course like human-computer interaction and you just learn words, but you don't even understand what we call futuristic evaluation and all these things they are, how visuals communicate and all these things, right? But you want to go to industry. So you see that there's a gap between industry and academia. So you find hubs like Sonko Academy and Zongovation, like few other hubs who are helping people. They'll tell you, look at ALX. They are saying that if you're a SHS graduate, join them to learn. I want to speak PG here, but if you want to put yourself in a position where, oh, I don't need this, I won't do that. Someone will take an advantage. By the time you realize that person has leveled up, and you who were like, oh, I won't do this, I won't do that, you now be reaching out to this person for tips and all these things. I hope you get. So you see, like this event, you have met so many people. There's a WhatsApp platform. Please don't go and be posting, I sell data bundle, I do this. Nobody will come and remove you from the page. But you see, that is the problem we have in Africa now. When you are entering what we call, let's say, a hall, a banking hall, and they say staff only, do you go there? You don't go there. Do you still need us to tell you that this platform is not for commercial purposes unless you have been allowed? You go and post your bundle, you go and post your shipping distance. We are not against them. But you see, you have found yourself in a platform where you are there to number one network. And you are posting data bundle. Fine, you get customers, but was that the main purpose for which the group was created? Maybe you can reach out to us. Daniel does a lot of business and all these things, but he has not posted anything on the platform. Meshack does a lot of them. You get it. So let's always see what we are doing, and then I think that helps. Final words from Meshack, and then we call it a day. I mean, the people on the call, people have done well. I think I need to share data. But I don't know how to share the data. You want to speak, eh?
Mr. Yeah, I have a question in the chat, so if you can, I should read it.
Sorry. Someone said Fortran. Oh, you understand? And people are learning COBOL. I mean, let's just end it here. I mean, maybe the people from the non-tech background will not understand. Go ahead. I can't see it. Go ahead.
The question is, are we going to be having sessions of this sort on a normal basis?
Was that the question?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. We will think through it. I know Meshack will be available, Shadrach will be available, and Daniel and the rest. And you two, you'll be available. So yeah, let's see how
Yeah.
it goes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So final words from Meshack, then Daniel comes in, and then we are done. Thank you.
Okay. So basically, we're looking at what to do before you land your first job. And we have said a lot of things. One of the things that I do not want you to forget is that you discover yourself. It is very important. I'll share the slide with you. Have time, go through. You have to discover yourself. If you do not, it will be difficult for you to thrive in any working environment. And as fresh graduates going out or going to look for a job or going to work, it is known that if you can stay at a firm for 3 months, you'll be able to stay there for long. I don't know how true that is, but all depends on knowing yourself. The second thing is that you'll be able to set your career goals. So make sure you set your career goals very well. The most importantly, build your personal brands. Very, very important. You have to treat your personal brand like you treat any other person's organization or company or any other person's business. Okay. And then make sure understand that your CV is your professional image. So you look at it with critical eye. You do a lot of findings before you bring that CV out because that CV speaks volumes of your life. And then also you develop a growth mindset as you are going there. To be difficult to get a job, but if you have a growth mindset that these are just the initial stages of my life, it will not be like something that will traumatize you for the longer period. Uh, for this event, trust me, it will surprise you. Just search online, look for free events. All you need is a good shirt, good dress, good heel or something. Just go there. And some of these events they give free food, free water, free everything. You need your transportation. If you have a card, fine. If you don't, just I was out of card, but can I take your number on my phone? That's all. You'll be good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me, Ben. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my knowledge with you. And I'm so glad that you like this. One of the things that I like a lot is feedback. So if you can share your feedback on a WhatsApp page for me, so that I'll be able to also write on it on my LinkedIn profile. And I want you also to take a screenshot of the chat and then post it on LinkedIn and write about it and some of the things that you've learned and tag me. I'll forward to my profile. Thank you so much.